Hi.
Ah, excellent. Okay, so we've got peace and quiet at this end. So if I can do some introductions, Carol, you're here. Hello, this is my hand. This is our meeting room in Stevenage. So
Sorry about that. That was two dogs.
bless you. So do some introductions. So we have a nice room full of networkers from Arm.
Have you got more gentlemen than women
from
at this
Stevenage.
time of day?
So let me move this right. Okay. So if I'm going to give focus over to yourself, and if you want to take it away.
Are you talking to me?
Yep.
Oh, right, okay. Can you mute whilst I'm talking?
Sure, we
and
can.
if everybody else can, because then the recording won't pick up other noises.
Would you like us to do an introduction from this side?
Yes, that would be really nice.
Okay, well here's the posh group with the tablecloths, and oh yeah, there's some flowers. We just had a demonstration from Keith Lilly of Grey Court Florist doing a demonstration on flowers since it's the Valentine's time there. We're in Biggleswade. We are Business Connections, and a few of us here are members of 24/7. So you can see why we are interested to learn more about your skills on Google Hangout. So I now mute, and that's us done. Thanks for letting us join you.
Thanks for joining us, isn't it? I mean, this is really, by the way, because Mick didn't really do the introductions very well, did he? So I'll move over to that because I'm used to doing this sort of thing. I'm Carol Dodsley, better known to a lot of people as the how-to girl. And I'm not sitting on a table with or without a tablecloth, and I'm not even sitting on my desk, because that's one of the great things about Hangouts is wherever I place my camera is where I can sit. So I actually have like a mini TV studio that's actually a really comfortable chair in a really comfortable room, but it looks pretty good, and it's how I do my online TV shows. What I think here today is fantastic. This is potentially one of the first times that this is being done, because Hangouts on Air, or Hangouts, and Google Plus has only been around for a little while, and we've now got myself in Grantham, a black hole of the country somewhere in Lincolnshire where Mrs. Thatcher was born, talking to you in, I've forgotten, Biggleswade I can remember with the posh tablecloths. I can't remember where Mick is. I'm sure he's going to tell me.
Oh, hello, come back.
It's Stevenage.
Stevenage.
Yeah, we're in Stevenage.
And we have got Mike Jones, who is in Milton Keynes. You know, how often with sort of just normal technology, TVs can do this all the time, you know, people with massive budgets can do it all the time, but can somebody do it for free? Now they can, yes. You know, I'm sorry, I can see now, I was just thinking, I don't know what you're seeing, but you've got me on the big screen. Now what you can see, if you were doing a broadcast to the world, they could potentially see the same. But they wouldn't see the side bits of the screen that you can see, because you're looking into a Hangout, and there's differences. Think about this from your own business perspective. You know, here we've got 4 different towns in the UK with people all basically connecting together. You know, you could all have your own computers there, and you could all be talking to each other in different parts of the country. But think about that from a business perspective. If you have client meetings, I know a lot of people who they have potential client meetings. They're traveling all over the country to meet a potential client, to have an initial conversation, and they don't know if they're actually going to get that client or not, if they're going to make any money, but they know they've spent money on their travel, they've spent money on their time. Now they don't have to do that if they use Hangouts, because they can invite that potential client into a Hangout no matter where they are. They're saving themselves time, they're saving themselves money, but they're still engaging face to face, because you can see into each other's eyes, you can see the body language, you know, it is like having a face to face conversation. You can do, if you're a consultant, you can have your consultations on air. You could be anywhere in the world and still talk to your clients. They could be anywhere in the world and still talk to you. You can do online workshops. I do a lot of workshops on Hangouts. I teach people how to use Hangouts through using Hangouts. So we're always on Hangouts. But the other thing you can do is you can broadcast to the world. On the 22nd of February, NASA is having a Hangout with the space shuttle. The people up there will be talking to the people down here. Now that is like an unknown, that they could actually talk to members of the public. You know, they've always been able to talk to each other and it's been sort of closed door, but now they can talk to the public. Last night, President Obama was having a fireside chat. He had people, I think he had, which wasn't that many actually, considering how big America is, he had 33,500 people watching a Hangout. Now at the moment you can see there's the 4 little video strips at the bottom. That's who's in this Hangout. So we're live in here and can talk to each other. But if you did a Hangout on air, you can actually broadcast to the public through YouTube. They're not in the video with you, they're not in the conference room with you, so you can be showcasing Cadbury's, for instance. They do an awful lot of showcasing on Hangouts. Topshop, this weekend I think it is, they're actually using Hangouts for Fashion Weekend. So people all over the world can watch a YouTube video that is a live not recording, it's a live stream of whatever they're doing in the Hangout. Excuse me, I just need to take a drink. So it's really connecting people together all over the world. There's a lot more creative uses for Hangouts, and I mean I teach those in my program, and obviously I'm on a bit of a time limit so I can't talk to you about them all. But what I want to show you now is just 2 other things that I think you'll find quite, and actually Mike, you can do it now. What I told you to take away before, you can put back, not Mick, Mike, because you're there you go, right. Can you full screen Mike? You can see that Mike's got there. You can still hear me. We've now full screened Mike, but Mike is actually, it's called a lower third. And if you're talking to people, you know, people don't always know who they're talking to. If you were having a meeting, say, with a load of different managers or different people, you might think, oh, I can't remember who that person is. Everybody can put their own lower third on there. You can put it on, you can take it off. You can see that Mike's got a blue bar with his name. I can't see it very clearly because it's not big screen for me. You can put your contact details underneath the name, and Mike's also put a logo over on the left. Well, it's either left or right, it depends where you're looking because they're mirrored when I'm in here. So people can actually let people know who they are. You don't have to, you know, I hate name badges, but I quite like the lower thirds, which is quite good. But there's other things in the toolbox as well. If you want to put me back on the big screen, Hangouts are also for fun. They're also for personal use, and I know that you're all business people, so you know it's more of a business. But let me just lighten up the morning. There we go. You can have fun as well. Now I know that was a little bit of fun. I'll take that face off. But it can also be very useful if you're doing a presentation. What I've just done, that face across my face and that little blue lower third that Mike has put in, they're overlays. You could create any image and overlay it over your video. So if you were presenting, you could up here have images with your main bullet points, so that, you know, normally you have a PowerPoint presentation, you don't need the PowerPoint presentation necessarily, because you can spotlight up here things that you want to stand out to people. So there's lots of different, I mean there's a lot more features than that, but that's just a few little bits. And something else that you can do, you can collaborate in real time. Now this screen share won't be massive. Can you see that screen?
Yep.
Yes, you can. That's actually in the background a PowerPoint presentation. I'm not actually, let's see, I can never remember how to start them off in Google presentations. But you can be showing a presentation, people can still hear me talk. Now I could have two cameras. I could have one camera with the presentation on, and I could have another camera with me on, so that I didn't have to switch between me and the presentation, and people could still see me. So you could be doing a presentation and you could still be in the small film strip at the bottom, and people could still see you talking to them. This is me showing a presentation, but you can also collaborate in real time on documents. Now I've just put a document up on screen there. You can't, can you see that your end, Mick?
Yeah, we can. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I can type in this document, and now if you can see that clearly, Mick is now typing and it's telling you that it's him typing. When I type, it will tell the person on the other side that I'm typing. You can have a live document. So for instance, I used to sit on a board where we had to do a lot of proofreading and editing and quality control of documents and processes and strategies. I could have that strategy document open here. Up to 9 other people can have that strategy document open at their end through the Hangout, and we can all be editing it and going through it at the same time, and when it's finished I can save it and I have everybody's edit, so you can collaborate in real time on live documents as well. Do
Carol?
all sorts of things.
Sorry, Carol, we can't see anything on the screen apart from yourself.
Who's that talking at the moment?
It's another mic, but from Biggleswade.
Yeah,
The bottom of the posh tablecloth.
yes, that's because I didn't tell you, sorry, Mick and I practiced this yesterday. I forgot to tell you to click on an app. Don't worry about it. What everybody else has just seen is me typing on a document within the Hangout. You have a lot of apps in Hangouts, and I've just chosen an app. Mick knew I was choosing the app, and I'm really sorry, I completely forgot to go through this with you before we started. You could have also clicked on the app and everybody would see that same document on the screen. But I don't want to start going into it because I think we're going way over time.
That's fine, don't worry. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, sorry about that. I do apologise. Planning and preparation is also very useful if you're doing a collaborative hangout.
We feel like the poor relatives, don't worry.
Okay, Carol, that was fantastic. Thank you very much.
It was, I say, it's very brief, and you know, there's an awful lot more to Hangouts. You know, I have a program where I have 6 strategy modules, and we have ongoing meetings and training throughout the year as well, because they're, you know, it's not hard. It's easy to set a Hangout up. It's easy to use a Hangout, but it's thinking about the actual, well, how will it work for my business? You know, what would be the best way for me to do this? Do I want a Hangout on air? Do I want a private Hangout? What different features can I use? I watch a lot of people doing Hangouts that don't know what they don't know, and I'm sitting there watching. I watched a live Hangout the other day, and bless her, the lady had asked me to help her set it up. It was going out live to the public. She didn't realise she was in the big screen because she didn't know how to control the other little mini screens and put the talkers into the big screen. There was 3 of them presenting, and all the time the other people were presenting, she was looking incredibly bored because she didn't think people could see her. So she was actually sitting smoking an electric cigarette. She had no idea she was doing it, and sort of, you know, twiddling around because she didn't know what she didn't know, which is why I tell people and I help people and I train people on Hangouts. And I hope it's okay to say it, but if anybody would like any training, if anybody would like any more information, it's what I do. I actually do all things Google, but Hangouts at the moment is one of the biggest things because they are so important and so effective for everybody's business. I do have an e-learning program that if anybody would like to know more about, I'll give Mick the details for it. It's priced in dollars because I have a lot of overseas clients and I work a lot with people in America and Australia and Canada. So that's why I had to price it in dollars, but it's only $95, which I think is about £60. So if anybody's interested in that, Mick will give you all the details, I assume. Yes, I'm just making this up as I go along. No, Mick will give you all the details so that you can find out more about it. Has anybody got any questions?
The quality of the I think
yeah, the quality is completely different. I used to do a lot of Skype. If you're doing voice, then you can use Skype or you can use Hangouts, because Hangouts you can also do with voice. You don't have to have the videos, you can do it with voice. You're using Google's infrastructure, which is a lot better quality than Skype. I do a lot of expert interviews, and when I used to do Skype video interviews, we always had trouble with pixelation and everything else. On a Hangout, you have brilliant quality.
The other thing is, I believe, if you want to document share,
yeah.
Premium on Skype, it's not free.
Yeah, and if you want to have more than one person, you have to pay for it on Skype. You know, and it's not always about the money, but the quality is much better on Google Hangouts. And the fact that you can pull in all of the different applications. If you're using Google Drive and you're using Google Documents, you can share that drive and those documents in a private Hangout, so you can be collaborating on spreadsheets, on Word documents, you can be sharing calendars. There are an awful lot of apps and different things. There are mind mapping apps that you can use, a whole range of different things that you can use that enhance it for you. And also, one great thing about using a Hangout for a private consultation, you can use a Google event, you can use your Google Calendar, and you can set up a Hangout in advance that when it's time for your meeting, your client will have got a couple of emails to remind them you have a Hangout coming up. At the time of the Hangout, they just go over and click the button. You don't have to set it up just before you start your meeting. So if you get held up, for instance, your clients can still be going into the Hangout and they know that it's still happening. They're not sitting there thinking, well, where's my invitation? How do I get into this thing? It's all pre-done, which is an extra as well, and I think that's a really good one.
Carol, thank you very much for that. I think this is something we can do again. I don't know what you think. I thought that was great. The vote from the Stevenage group is 10 out of 10. Mike?
And what about Mike?
Well, over to the Posh group in Biggleswade. The voting from the Biggleswade Business Connections group is 10 out of 10. And we'd like to thank you, Carol, for your input. It's been great. And hi to the guys in Stevenage 24/7. Good morning. Do you like our tablecloths then? But thanks so much for inviting us along, Mick. Very good. Thank you. See, we had a group. Thank you.
Mick, can I just say, if you want me to, because I know you're going to get on with your meeting, I'm happy to mute myself and leave this Hangout open so that if anybody, when you're having like your networking, wants to come and have a chat, I'm happy to stay here quietly in the background for anyone to come and actually have a chat with me, either from Biggleswade or from Stevenage or Mike Jones sitting there on his own in Milton Keynes. If you'd like me to. If not, I'll disappear, but I'm quite happy to be here.
I have one quick question, actually. Mike, your bottom third, as Carol refers to it, how do you set that up? Is it an app? Is it an option? Is it in the toolbar? What's it actually called? Is it called a bottom third bar?
There's actually on the 24/7 group on Google Plus, I recently, like in the past 2 days, posted some instructions for it. So if you go to our Mix group on Google Plus, or Mix community I should say, on Google Plus, you'll see it there.
That's that. Thanks ever so much, Mike.
Yeah, Mike shared that about 3 or 4 days ago, and it is very straightforward. So thanks for that, Mike.
Great. Thank you ever so much, and thanks for allowing us to join in.
Okay, cheers.
See ya. Bye.
Carol, we're going to check out as well because we're just going to wrap up the last 10 minutes of our meeting.
No problem.
All right, then. Thanks
It
ever
was
so much.
lovely to meet everybody.
Hey, bye from me.
Yeah. Thank you. Goodbye. Thanks very much. And
Doo-doo-dum.